I have made my way to Madurai, my last stop in Tamil Nadu. And from my past experiences, I can tell you that the city is a delight for every traveler who is inclined to understand the rich heritage of the destination. Madurai is called Thunga Nagaram, which translates to the city that never sleeps.
Ooh, you see that Malai there?
But it's not for its nightclub and entertainment, but for its 24-hour market. Historically, it's also called the Athens of East. Madurai is a modern commercial and industrial city. Yet, it has long been on the pilgrimage circuit for its many temples and holy shrines. But to experience some things, you have to be up really early in the morning.
Every time I've come to Madurai, I've always had people surrounding the car, thronging literally and selling Mallipu or the jasmine flowers. I knew there was a lot of history to do with Madurai and jasmine flowers. So here I am at this beautiful jasmine farm, tracing the story of the Madurai Malli or the jasmine flowers.
Madurai Mallipu is the only flower that has been given a GI tag, a geographical indication tag for a flower in Tamil Nadu.
பழனி நீங்க வந்து இங்க மல்லிப்பூ விவசாயம் ரொம்ப வருஷமா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்களா?
ஆமா.
எத்தனை வருஷம் இருக்கும்?
ஒரு 20 வருஷம் இருக்கு.
20 years farming. Okay. யூசுவலா நான் பார்த்த மல்லிப்பூ சொல்றேன். கொடியில அப்படி படர்ந்து வருமே. அது என்ன மல்லிப்பூ?
அது கொடிமல்லி படர்றது. இது வந்து குத்துமல்லி.
ஓகே. சோ இது வந்து இந்த புஷ் வெரைட்டி. இது
வேற ஒட்டு ரகம் தான் அது. அதாவது ராமேஸ்வரத்துல வந்து இந்த செடி அறுத்து போய் இந்த அளவுக்கு அறுத்து போய் அப்படி வச்சாங்கன்னா இல்ல வேறு வந்துடும்.
இதுக்கு வந்து நல்ல வெயில் வேணுமா?
வெயில் வேணும், குளிர்ச்சி வேணும். ரெண்டு இருந்தால் தான் பூக்கும். குளிர்ச்சியில் ரொம்ப குளிர்ச்சியில் பூக்காது, செடியாக தான் இருக்கும். வெயில் அடிச்சா தான் அந்த அரும்பெல்லாம் அப்படியே பெருசாக வந்துடும்.
This is a flower, but when they harvest it here, they harvest it as a bud. And you can keep it outside any temperature, you don't have to put it in water, but evening is when it blooms and that nice mallipu vasana as they call it. இந்த தோட்டத்தில் how many kilos do you grow?
ஒரு நாளைக்கு இதில் வந்து 20 கிலோ வரும்.
Spread across an acre, kilos of these buds is what they get on a day-to-day basis. Sells to about 100 rupees a kilo. Right now it's like an off-season time, so it goes up to 600 to even 800 rupees a kilo. But of course the yield is much lesser.
There's one place in Madurai that is popular internationally, the Madurai Flower Market. Every day, over 10 tons of flower arrive at the flower market, one of the biggest flower markets in South India. From this flower market, many varieties of flowers, especially the jasmine, is exported to parts of India and to countries like Germany, America, and Italy.
Madurai Meenakshi and the Mallipu are inseparable. Any ritual that happens every day has to have the jasmine flowers for her. During her annual festival, there is also the chariot, the garlands, everything is made of jasmine flowers. If you look at the ancient literature, whether it is the Mahabharata or Vedas or even the Sangam literature, there's a lot of reference to the jasmine as well. So I'm just on my way from the farm. We've got a batch. Of course, this is just a small quantity, but there's more in the vehicle there and we're just going to go drop it off at the store here.
India 24-hour working market is Madurai only.
Yeah.
No Bombay, no Chennai, no Bangalore. In foreigners coming to Meenakshi temple, first they go to Meenakshi temple. Another visit place is flower market.
Yeah.
Because of pattern of Madurai Malli.
How much of it is exported to other countries for perfume?
1 quintal jasmine.
Appa, one quintal na?
1 quintal, 1,000 kilos.
1,000 kilos.
1,000 kilos comes 1 kilo concrete. That's name, the perfume thickest name is the concrete.
How do you think Madurai was that center where, you know, Madurai na Malli, how do you think it came together?
This soil and water is the best for Madurai Malli.
Yeah. Can I take some jasmine flowers from here? Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. This is probably the most traditional way of buying it. Not just the flowers, but this beautiful kottans, as they are called. They are palm leaf that has been made into baskets like this using colors and as beautiful and rustic as it can be. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Meenakshi Amman Temple, also known as the Meenakshi Sundareshwara Temple, is one of the oldest and most important temples in India. The temple is an epitome of classic architecture with murals so gorgeous that it will take your breath away. Dedicated to Lord Shiva and goddess Meenakshi, this temple has become a major tourist spot over the years and is often referred to as the Mathura of South. It is believed that Lord Shiva assumed the form of Sundareshwarar, the handsome one, and married Meenakshi at the site where temple is currently located. Renowned for its astonishing architecture, Meenakshi Temple was nominated as one of the wonders of the world, but couldn't make it to the list of 7 wonders of the world. During the Thirukkalyanam festival or the Holy Union that takes place over a period of 10 days, the temple attracts more than 1 million devotees. The history of Meenakshi Temple dates back to the 1st century, with scholars claiming it to be as old as the city itself. The temple also has a concreted pond named Pottramarai Kulam, or the Golden Lotus Pond. It is said that Lord Shiva blessed this pond and declared that no marine life would grow in it.
You belong to a family that is associated to the temple. So you would know the legends about the temple.
This is the goddess Meenakshi Devi.
Yeah.
Goddess Avadar is the important one there. The Pandya kingdom, Malaithusa Pandian and Kanchanamala ruled Madurai.
Yeah.
He has no heirs. He conducts various yaha.
Okay.
At last he conducts in the Putra Kamagosti yaha.
Yeah.
In this yaha bonfire, Meenakshi came out 3-year-old baby.
Oh wow.
Normally ladies got 2 breasts, but she is abnormal 3. The
Okay.
kingdoms are afraid. Yeah, anonymous call said whenever she saw his husband, the 3rd one gone out there. Meenakshi grown up there, ruled Madurai, war with all the kingdom.
Okay.
At last she went to Kailas, war with Lord Shiva.
I see.
The 3rd breast gone out there. Meenakshi knows Shiva is my husband. The 3rd breast indicates always Shiva is with him.
Yes.
So after that, the Pandya kingdom, Kulasekara Pandya and his followers are developed this temple. Is there. This is a 3000 years old Purana temple.
Yeah.
Around 1 million square feet areas are there.
Goodness.
14 towers are there, including 2 golden towers. In all the 4 sides, each one tower, north, east, west and south. The southern tower is very highest. From the ground, it is 161 feet height.
Wow.
All other gates are similar there. These types of pillar in this temple, around 6,800 pillars are there.
Wow.
This one called Yali.
Yeah.
Yali is a weight-bearing pillar. It's a imaginations.
Yeah.
Horse body, elephant trunk, crocodile's mouth, lion's leg and pig's ears are there. 10% of the pillars are there.
In Sangam literature, is there anything or inscriptions here in temple walls that talk about the prasadam?
See, first one thing you know that the olden days the prasadam situation is there. The kingdoms ordered the public to go to the morning agriculture purpose. From noon to late evening, the people must work the temple.
Okay.
That's why the people given the temple authority given the land for the prasadam is there.
Right.
It's not that
so it's more to
prasadam is
feed
there.
the people.
People. Then in the temple authority given the kungum and paspam there.
Now, will you be able to tell me what are the prasadams that you do on a day-to-day basis?
Regular offerings in this temple, morning samba rice, and then puliyodharai, and then tair sadam, suddhanam, and then sakara pongal, and kalkandu pongal.
Idella morning.
Morning.
Okay.
Day to day, it's different.
Oh, I see.
So over and above, in the special day, it's called Atta Vishesham.
So, what are the other special prasadams that are made?
Kalkandu pongal.
Yes.
So that is it cooking 3 to 4 hours.
So I will now head to the temple kitchen and see maybe if any prasadam is being made right now. Yeah. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம்.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம்.
சந்திச்சதுல. Thank you. As I walked in, they're just starting to make laddus. There is tenkural there, which is a muruk again. And அது என்னது அது? அப்பம். Okay, okay. Tell me, இது எப்படி நீங்க பண்றீங்க?
கடல மாவு, அதாவது ஆயில், ஏலக்காய், ஜாதிக்காய், கல்கண்டு, டைமண்ட் கல்கண்டு.
நைஸ். பட் முதல்ல பூந்தி ஃப்ரை பண்ணுவீங்களா?
வந்து மாவை வந்து ஆயில சூடு பண்ணிடுவாங்க.
ஓகே.
சூடு பண்ணிட்டு திருப்பி மாவை கரைச்சி அதில் ஊற்றுவாங்க. ஆயில் ஆமாம், சின்ன சின்னதாக கண் சல்லடாக இருக்கும், அதில் ஊற்றுவாங்க. ஊற்றி அதை எடுத்து ஜீரா, அதாவது சீனியை வந்து ஜீரா காய்ச்சி வச்சுருப்பாங்க. ட்ரெயில் போட்ட பிறகு ஜாதிக்காய்,
ஆல் பவுடர்ஸ்.
ஆமாம், பவுடர்ஸ் அரைச்சி மேலே தூவி விட்டுரும்.
ஓகே. So this is basically besan. Besan, you mix it with some water and you fry it in nice hot oil until it becomes like these small bundis, or like the way you do it for motichur laddu. So this mixture is basically the fried bundis that's been soaking in sugar syrup. To that they've added some nutmeg powder, elaichi powder, nuts, ghee and sugar crystals, the small ones that are available. So that's added to give that nice extra crunch. This is then haath se acha tarah mila ke it's become like a nice mushy thing, and then urunda pidichu serve பண்ண வேண்டியது. So இது வந்து நீங்க weight போடணுமா? weight போட்டு தான்.
ஆமாம் சார்.
ஓகே. நான் ஒன்று பண்ணலாமா? எவ்வளோ ஒரு லட்டு எவ்வளோ கிராம்?
62.
62 grams ஒரு லட்டு. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நாளைக்கு how many laddus do you make?
சுமார் 5000
ஒரு நாளைக்கு
ரெடி பண்ணி
5,000 laddus a day is what they make. On festive days it goes up to 10 to 15,000 laddus a day. This feeling of just having the laddu, there's some ghee there, it's that waft of nutmeg, and you know you can actually smell the sweetness from the sugar syrup. It's there everywhere, and it is just
After meeting the priest, I now have a different perspective about the origin and meaning what prasadam meant in the ancient days. But I am now going to another part of the temple, the Ayiram Kal Mandapam, which literally translates to hall with 1,000 pillars, where I am going to meet Gopi Shankar. Gopi is one of the youngest and the first openly intersex and genderqueer candidates to contest the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly election. Gopi is the founder of Srishti Madurai Volunteer Movement.
Gopi, you've been doing some path-breaking work around the LGBTI issues in Madurai, everywhere, but it started off in Madurai. Tell me about yourself.
It was started in 2011 in Madurai, as Srishti Madurai Student Volunteer Movement. Like it was a student-based organization initially. It turned to be an international movement now.
What is it that inspired you to start?
One of my friend committed suicide actually. So having someone to talk can save a life, right? So we initially started it as a 24/7 helpline group. So we gave our own mobile number. We started offering counseling in different languages, what we know initially. Now we offer counseling in more than 8+ languages. And then we discovered there are like gender-specific rituals and how beautifully Hinduism accommodates them and Indian traditions see them. Whole of the term LGBTI itself is more American. Even before the term, we have the indigenous gender variants and identities.
Tell me about that. I'm very intrigued to know more about it.
We have Aravans from the Tamil Nadu, like that we have Bachura Mata. You know, nowhere in the world you can see a temple specifically dedicated to transgender people, intersex people, or people who identify with diverse sexual identities or gender identities.
Sure.
Here, these temples exist even now. Our ancestors even designed these sacred spaces to kind of celebrate these diverse gender identities, to uplift their sanskaras. So apart from male and female and transgender people, we have more than 58 gender identities.
Oh, wow.
So Arjuni is a female form of Arjuna.
Okay.
It appears in Mahabharata. There are more than 150+ such sculptures. During invasion, many of them were destroyed, but some are still remaining. So you can see the Arjuna here with, breast with moustache.
One would never expect, or for that matter, even understand this, but this and Ardhanarishwara, of course, the mixture of Shiva and Parvati.
But even within the art forms, they gave a space to accommodate such sculptures.
Yes.
Itself is something having the very kind
It's
of
very
space
progressive for back then, because
yeah.
this is something like it stands the test of time today.
Yes,
And
yes.
imagine if they had celebrated this and put it out as a sculpture,
Yes.
or rather how open-minded people were back then. Gopi, if you had to summarize Srishti in 3 sentences, what would that be?
3 sentences is respect for all forms of life is Srishti. And so she's the space which interrelates the connection between nature, human and society. In Tirukkural we say Palluir Ombudal, which is, serving all forms of life without judging them.
Love all, serve all. That's the attitude.
Yes.
Gopi, I must say it's been a pleasure meeting you, talking to you, and just understanding your perspective, your thoughts, and how you have gone about doing this in a very, very nuanced way. May you continue to inspire people. You have already been doing that, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. The Meenakshi temple embodies the active continuation of an ancient set of religious and artistic traditions in southern India. I saw and experienced one temple today, but with 2 different perspectives. One was how the prasadams came into being, while the other is how the temple sculptures and scriptures can be a source of inspiration to fight for LGBTQI rights in the present time. The Meenakshi temple, which is more than 3,000 years old, is still so relevant, so ancient, but it will stay forever young. Rice emerged in India 14,000 years ago, and with a simple variety. Farmers experimented and amplified the genetic diversity, and in the course of the last 10,000 years, there emerged 110,000 varieties of rice, for which only 6,000 survive now. For Sheila Balaji, chairperson and managing trustee of NGO Aim for Seva, she was deeply inspired by the rice story. So she not only grew these lost gems, but also made sure people could taste them and encouraged farmers to grow them once again.
The journey started because I found when I wanted to start farming, rice is the first thing which comes to people's mind, because Tanjavur is known as the rice bowl of Tamil Nadu. So when I started reading, then I found there is such a variety of rice Tamil Nadu had. So when I started looking at different parts of India, we found there's more than 100,000 varieties, or that's what people say. But it's very difficult to find. And each rice had a certain variety, because I started exchanging rice. Give one seed, get a seed. For example, I met Nel Jayaraman from Namarwar group. They called Save Our Rice campaign. And they asked me, they were having a festival. They wanted me to come and attend before I, went anywhere near it. That was when I started. From 2013, 14, 15, 16, we conducted rice festivals in Manjagudi. We are growing about 6 varieties of black rice.
Of black rice alone?
Just 6 varieties.
I mean, this is not the Karuppu Kavani.
No, other than Karuppu Kavani, we have what they call as Tanjavur Karuppu. Then we also have Nya Cheik from Airavati Delta from Burma. We have Chahao Poiritin from Imphal, Manipur. Then from Thailand, we have a variety called Kum. Then there is another variety from Maharashtra called Kalo Bhat. So, and each has a distinct taste.
Rice growing as a culture, right? So right from our Sangam times, there is all the varieties like Ottadai Samba, Kamban Samba, Kavidai Samba, Chadai Samba. You name it, it's there. It's such beautiful, evocative names. How do you think this culture of rice is in India?
If you take India and you sort of take it from East Madhya Pradesh, eastwards, right up to Japan, it's rice-eating countries. You take from west of UP and going this far to California, it's wheat eating. So literally you can divide
By two.
the world into rice and wheat.
No. I think the kind of different varieties that you have showcased here, it's not something that is just South-centric, but you're bringing the culture of rice from all parts of India and sort of building an ecosystem for the farmers as well. So I would say that rice has finally found a voice through you.
Thank you.
Pleasure
I hope
meeting
so.
you. And I am going to go by your farm now and meet the farmers as well with your permission.
Please do.
So he sincerely appeals to people saying, go back to organic farming and promote indigenous rice, because every indigenous rice variety has a different medicinal benefit. நான் ஊருக்கு கொண்டு போறதுக்கு இப்பதான் அரிசி வச்சிருக்கீங்களா?
Ajara Gansal வச்சிருக்கோம்.
Ajara Gansal, acha. Okay, so this Ajara Gansal is a rice from Maharashtra. This is truly what I set out and I wanted to experience. Being in south of India, here they are cultivating a rice from Maharashtra. I'm going to be using the indigenous rice that I got at Manjakudi with a very, very well-known ingredient that I picked up in Madurai, which is the Madurai Malli, or the jasmine flower. I'm going to be making a Madura Malli firni. So I've steeped the jasmine flowers overnight after I've boiled them in water. Bring this water now to a boil. The water's come to a nice running boil, and the steam, what I can also get, has the flavor of jasmine. Now to that, I'm going to be adding the Ajara Gansal rice. I've coarse powdered it. To this, I'm going to be adding some sugar and some milk that I've boiled and kept here. The beauty about the firni is you can choose to alter the thickness the way you want. You can add more rice, let it cook for a longer time and serve it thick and cold. Okay, so that's come to a nice boil and it's thickening as well, if you look at the consistency here. The Madura Malli firni is done. I'm going to be serving this in a nice earthenware, a terracotta cup. Okay, and now to garnish this, unlike using nuts, what I'm going to be using is til kachiki, which we get here a lot. Just going to crush them and garnish it with the til chikki. So this is my tribute to Madurai, using the humble Madura Malli. This is when rice from the west, which is the Ajara Gansal, has been brought down south, grown in Manjakudi.